since you mentioned the issue with respect to your novel, I'll raise it here again. On the immigration side, that's an enormously complex issue because you have violent gangs south of the border creeping north of the border. You have some people taking advantage of U.S. government handouts, but then you also have most people coming across the border because they want to work hard and support their families and get ahead in life. So do you see that there's, what balance do you see there? And do you think that we should do something more to encourage the hard-working immigrants, whether on a permanent or a temporary basis, or how do you see keeping the good with immigration while cutting off the bad?
Well, here's the way I see it. I see that there are indeed many illegal immigrants that come across the border that provide reinforcement and provide encouragement to drug cartels, for example, who are a bloodthirsty group of people that could care less about human beings except themselves. Now, these illegal immigrants that are working in conjunction with them and are working as their enforcers or their collectors or whatever on the U.S. side of the border are people that need to be dealt with. Now, on the other hand, I know many people who have come across the border and have gone through all the hoops to become citizens, and they've done it right, and they're very family oriented. They're good people, they're hardworking people, they're to be admired. But then you have those also come across the border illegally that still, even then, fit into that category of good hardworking people, and they're family oriented and they're good people in many ways, but they're here illegally and they shouldn't be. They're in violation of the law, and what it's doing is draining our social services. In California, you see an example of that, a state that's practically gone bankrupt because of these people that are here illegally that have soaked up so many of the social services that and they have to be taken care of. Now, they aren't allowed to have Social Security, for example, but there's some that get around that, that can get that and do in other ways. There's some services that can't be denied them. Emergency hospital service cannot be denied. Some community relief centers cannot be denied even though they're illegal. So they are taxing our system and is providing a huge anchor on our society where we're giving and giving and giving out and we're not receiving back in.
So if we could have stricter border control, less welfare going to immigrants, and more friendly policy toward people who are legitimately coming here to work, say a guest worker program, could you see a reform addressing all three of those problems as something that would be workable?
You know, this would be ideal, and it would certainly be in everyone's best interest, but it's almost unattainable right now the way things are. It's going in the opposite direction. There's talk about taking 285 Border Patrol agents off the Mexican border and reassigning them, making it even more difficult to protect our borders. They're just not the emphasis right now on the borders that there is on the economy and on the war in Afghanistan, the war in Iraq. Those are the issues right now. Those are the hot buttons. The borders, I don't feel, are being given near enough attention.